Occurred the 1st of September 1974, 21 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: Bremen, IN. USA. Shape: disk. Duration: 5 seconds. No of observers. 1 Characteristics: lights on object. Saw disc-shaped object out of window. I read a report from Goshen, IN. One of the earliest on the Indina board. That reminded me of something I saw around the same time. Bremen is a town that is west-southwest of Goshen, about 35 to 40 miles. I lived at the southern edge in an old 2-story house. I was very young, 5th grade to be exact. I was in bed. My bed faced a large, door-sized window in the room. I don't know what made me sit up and look out the window. From the bed, I saw a very large object moving across the sky with a slight tilt to it, nose up. It had a green light on the front, a white on the rear. It was dark and I could only see in silhouette. In between what I thought was 2 plates was an area of red windows, for lack of a better term. As it passed by my window, its windows had a bright red light that had trailing lights. They would progressively get dimmer going around the ship, 6 steps or so. The bright red light was moving around the disc shape. The whole event only lasted for a few seconds. I was so frightened by it that I tried to scream out to my mom and sister, but nothing came out. After a few minutes I went down to tell them. They thought I was dreaming or something. I know I wasn't. I have seen a lot of strange things. I never saw this again, or any aircraft like it. It was unlike a helicopter, moving too slow for an airplane that low, and it was big. I would say it took up at least 2 window widths. Years later, 1980, myself and 2 friends were in the old churchyard, a place we played. I had saw some geese fly over. A fun trick to play on someone. The geese bellies reflect the town light faintly, so it looks like a UFO, and they often fly in a V formation. He. Well, anyway, we were out in the back of the church, very dark there. It wasn't long before we all 3 saw an aircraft moving at an unbelievable rate of speed. It passed overhead in less than 6 seconds, missile fast. It left a very unusual contrail, billowing cotton that we could see at night, moving from east to west. It had no lights and made no sound, no boom. It was moving fast enough it should have. No engine noise, nothing. I assume it might have been a stealth test or something. It had that shape to it. Triangular. For years, 15, whenever we would run into each other, Steve would always mention that night. Again, never saw anything like it until the stealth fighter came out, but what we saw was bigger than that. Heads up. Eyes open.
Occurred the 1st of August 2021, hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: Argos, IN. USA. Shape: light. Duration: 1 to 2 minutes. No of observers. 3 UFOs seen over Argos. In. Myself and 2 friends were standing, grilling outdoors, when I looked up and I saw what appeared to be a moving star that made some unusual flight patterns before disappearing. It had the same color and intensity of a star. We saw it descend from the edge of the atmosphere, looking towards the northeast. It moved downward for almost a minute before it turned at about 90 degrees and headed back out of the sky, accelerating as it left. It looked like a ball of white light, but it seemed to move in a coordinated manner. We stood there and watched in amazement, not sure of what it was that we were seeing. I am still unsure. I think that if a being or person were inside it, as it was a solid object, they would have been killed by the rapid change of direction it made. It seemed to defy gravity and to have the limitations of flight that known, man-made objects possess.
Location: Argos, IN. USA. Shape: other. Duration: 5 minutes. No of observers. 2 characteristics: lights on object, aura or haze around object, stealth bomber-shaped object at 1 o'clock position of moon. Taken 5:15 a.m. June 8, 2004. This morning at 5:15 am my mother and I was waiting for the sun to come up so we could see Venus come across the sun, so while I was waiting I took some pictures of the moon. On the right-hand side of the moon at the 1 o'clock position is an object shaped like the stealth bomber, only it isn't. I took the picture with a 35mm camera with a 1000mm lens set on a tripod. I had the film developed, and after I sat the object I scanned the picture onto my computer. Once I scanned it, I started zooming in on the black shape, and I now have this great shot of a UFO. Whatever it is huge. I would like to share this picture with you or someone. I know once you see my picture you will be as excited as I am. I also have another picture with a strange round thing in it. I am not sure if it is an asteroid or one of Venus's moons. I would like to share it as well. Thank you. Name deleted. NUFORC note. We have looked at the photo and concluded that the anomalous object may be a small bat with its wings swept forward in flight. PD.
Occurred the 7th of June 2023, 23 hours 7 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: Bourbon, in USA. Location details: hovering bright orbs. One is low, roughly 10,000 feet, spaced apart but form a triangle. Flashes kernel shape, circle duration. Current no of observers. 2 characteristics: changed color, flash multiple colors when you zoom in. 1 seems low, non-moving, not a planet. I checked. I've seen the low one multiple times. It's been in the night sky for a week. Tonight there are 2 more. I didn't want to cause panic, so I waited to see if the other one would go away. Instead more appeared. I've checked flight radar and the planets in the sky, and it's neither. Nor is it moving as a plane would.
Occurred the 26th of April 2012, 22 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: Bremen, IN, USA. Shape: oval. Duration: 1 hour. No of observers. 1 characteristics: lights on object. Lights seen in the northwestern sky over Bremen, in. Seen in the northwestern sky. It seemed too big to be a star or planet. It stayed still for about an hour. I went out an hour later and I didn't see it anymore. It had bright white lights and small blue lights on each end. I did not see any blinking lights on it. There was one other star above it that would have been the next brightest object near it. Within an hour time span, does the night sky change position that fast where I would not see the object after an hour?
Occurred the 5th of October 2004, 20 hours 12 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: Bass Lake, Culver, IN, USA. Shape: diamond. Duration: 20 seconds. No of observers. 1 characteristics: aircraft nearby. Diamond-shaped craft with no lights or sound traveling east in northern Indiana with 2 red, yellow spheres close by. At exactly 20.12 I looked to the north and saw a tiny red, yellow sphere. Thought at first it was a plane's lights, but witnessed it travel SW for a couple of seconds, then shoot off into the opposite direction and disappear within 2 seconds. 5 seconds after this I noticed a huge diamond-shaped object with no lights and no sound traveling west to east. I watched this for about 10 to 12 seconds as it disappeared out of my line of sight. Shortly after the diamond-shaped object disappeared, another red-yellow sphere appeared from the north, traveling towards the east, darting from one direction to the other before disappearing out of sight.
Occurred the 6th of March 2008, 20 hours 3 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: Culver, in USA. Shape: formation. Duration: 30 minutes. No of observers. 5 characteristics: lights on object. Strange lights in northern Indiana sky. My husband was coming home from work and was talking to me on his cell phone, and he said, "Whoa, what the hell is that? What is that?" I then asked my husband where he was, and he stated, "Right down the road from our house." I looked out our family room window, which faces south, and saw 3 bright red lights in a lined formation and some individual red lights. The 3 lights would turn and quickly disappear and reappear in a different location. These lights looked to be lower in the horizon, and to the north of the reddish scattered lights, I saw a bunch of twinkling small white lights dancing around the sky almost in sequence. I can't tell if the white lights were individual or were of an extremely large object, but the white lights consumed a huge part of the northwestern sky and lasted only about 30 seconds, then disappeared. The red lights, however, would reappear and disappear over the course of 30 minutes. We did call the law authorities, and they stated that they were jets making maneuvers and dropping flares. I could understand that to some extent with the reddish lights being flares, but these lights would come and go as if moving in the horizon, and the lights would turn. The white sequenced twinkling lights would be more difficult to explain.